following tutorials, we're going to take a look at blending modes in Photoshop. This is probably one of the most important things that you can learn about Photoshop, and so it's good to read about it. And found a nice blog, PSD Top blog, that has a great article on understanding the blending modes. They have their two starting images, which are this one and that one, and you calculate them together by using blending modes. And you've got the blending modes in different categories. You've got a darken category, a lighten category, a contrast, comparative, and then this hue, saturation, and luminosity or lightness categories. And the way it works is that you take the two images, and let's say you're using a darker one. Anything that's darker on the top image, if you've usually applied the blending mode to the top image, and it's applied down to the image below. But anything that's darker than the image that's below will be added to that image, composited together. If you use a lighten mode, anything that's lighter than the original image will be composited into it. And then of course you have contrast, which does both. So here's normal, dissolve, darken, multiply, color burn, linear burn, and darken color, which looks a little strange. Here's what lighten looks like in screen. And look at color dodge, how that looks really robust color-wise. Linear dodge, it looks a little bit more washed out. Same with lighter color. Overlay is darker throughout because of the darkness of the original image versus this one, which has not really darkened the image. Then we have hard light and vivid light and linear light and so on down the list. And the best way you can do this is actually play with it yourself. So let's open up the files we need. We're going to open up the fire background and the earth file. So let's open up the fire background first, then we're going to go back and open up the earth file and drag it in. Now you'll see that it came in a special way. It had that cross across it, so what you want to do is double click, and that makes it fit the full size basically. But that's actually what's called a smart object, and we'll look at that later. Anyway, to go down the list of blending modes, you want to just click on the first blending mode you want to choose, and now you can use the scroll wheel or your up and down arrow to go through all the different blending modes and see how they look. And so what you want to do is find out which blending mode gives you the look that you want and gives you the style that you're looking for. Now, choosing which image on top, choosing the lighter, darker images, on top or below will always, of course, change the way the blending mode works. And you can always add as many objects as you want or as many layers as you want for blending modes. But one of the things to be aware of is that it's often nice to use these in conjunction with things like masks, so that you could actually mask this earth so that that would be composited onto the background just in that one place. And even if we did have this smaller somewhere, you'll see that right now if I use something like a lighten mode, then I won't even really have to worry about the mask, because since the background is mostly black around, we don't really see it. In this we might see a tiny bit, which we should fix, but we won't really see it. Now let's just say that we wanted to add two things together. So we really want to put this somewhere that we kind of get like, let's see, hard light there, something like that. And we want to get that result. Well, what we can do is we can actually do this again. So I'm going to take the two objects. Let me make that background a regular layer by double clicking on it. Take the two objects and select them, and now do Control G to group them. Now they've been grouped into a folder. Now alternately we could have just created a folder and dragged the two files in, but now I want to mask for just those layers. So I'm going to do a little mask, not a perfect one, but a mask that goes around the two layers. And now I'm going to click on the quick mask for that layer group, and you'll see I've got a mask. And if I really wanted to, I could make a new layer, drag it underneath, take the original stuff, move it where I want, and then go ahead and give it one of the darken or different styles that we want. Now you'll see that it's actually doing the light across all of it.